What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Alita Battle Angel. And man, this movie was fucking phenomenal. Like, James Cameron has struck again. He has created another masterpiece. The man can do no wrong. So let us get into it. So the movie is directed by Robert Rodriguez and of course stars Rosa Salazar as Alita, Christopher Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, Ed Schreck, Mashiri Ali, and many more. And of course the plot of Alita Battle Angel is that Dr. Ito, he has found Alita, rebuilds her, and the whole movie is just her, Alita, trying to remember who she was, and shit goes down from there. I'm gonna I'm gonna try and be spoiler for the plot, because this movie was fucking phenomenal. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, Glenn, why are you preaching this movie's greatness like as if James Cameron, as you said, Robert Rodriguez is the director of this movie? Well, James Cameron had a much bigger role in this movie than you guys probably may have known. So allow me to give you guys a little history lesson. For one, the man was a producer on the movie, as well as one of the two screenplay writers for this movie. And you can tell this movie has James Carpenter's name written all over it. But allow me to elaborate. So back in 2004, James Cameron wrote a 2,000-page script for Alita, but since CGI wasn't where it needed to be for Alita to work, as we guys know, Alita, she needs a lot of CGI. The whole movie had to almost be CGI because you know how the robots, because you know the cyborgs and everything. So he held it off, and that's what Avatar was meant to be. That was meant to be a tech demo for Alita, but for better or for worse, since Avatar was such a massive success, Alita had. James's focus, his entire focus, is now on Avatar rather than on Alita. But of course, they shortened the script down, gave the reins to Robert Rodriguez. He went on with the movie, and he stayed in as a producer as well as one of the screenplay writers. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the man was even behind the camera in a couple scenes, directing the movie. But this movie was just so fucking good, man. Like, I'm speechless, man. This movie is without a doubt my favorite movie of the year. Now, granted, we're still earlier on. We're only in February, but I don't see anything topping this movie unless Avengers Endgame is really damn good. Like, Avengers Endgame gotta be on point to top this masterpiece. So let me get into my positives with the movie. Number one, the one thing that I absolutely fucking loved about this movie was without a doubt the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this movie is fucking phenomenal. I love the soundtrack, and of course, Swan Song, which was in the end credits, love that so much. I won't lie, something low-key kind of triggered me a little bit in the end credits. So, of course, as we know, this is a live-action manga adaptation. I'm tempted to say anime because in America, Alita has had an OVA done. But it was done back in the 90s and hasn't really gotten any real anime to touch since then. So that's why I'm kind of putting it more in the Edge of Tomorrow boat, where it's mostly a manga live-action adaptation. Since, Edge of Tomorrow, which is based on the manga, All You Need Is Kill, has still, to this day, as far as I know, has still not gotten a live-action, has still not have gotten an anime adaptation of it. How, even with the success of Edge of Tomorrow, I don't know why no studio has picked up the series, but whatever the case may be, it still has yet to get an anime. And Alita Battle Angel had one OVA back in I think the 90s or early 2000s, but since then it hasn't really gotten much of anything. It hasn't really done anything. So that's why I'm kind of putting it more in the manga boat with Edge of Tomorrow. Anyway, so, like I mentioned, the cast, everyone does a great job. The CGI is fucking fantastic, and I loved. But without the highlight movie for me was definitely Rosa's portrayal as Alita. She did such an amazing job in the movie. Hell, I even be tempted she might be even worthy of a fucking Oscar, but that might just be my bias towards James Cameron talking at that point. But I would say that man deserves an Oscar now for that godlike screenplay, because the screenplay. Oh, It's a masterpiece. I should have probably warned y'all, in case you guys didn't know, James Cameron is my favorite director, so if I start fanboying like crazy, y'all know why I might be a little bit more biased on this movie than I probably should be. It's because, of course, my man James Cameron, but she did an amazing job. The CGI on her is, and now I know a lot of people thought it was kind of weird when her eyes were a little bit bigger, like legit anime eyes. In the movie, at least for me, in the final version, I never really had a problem with it. It looked pretty natural to me. It didn't really stick out that badly where I'm like, oh god, it doesn't look right. It looked perfectly fine. It did I don't know if they improved the CGI a lot more since the trailers, but I never really thought it was that noticeable. I didn't think it was really that bad, nor did I really find that kind of weird that we're getting like real life anime. So if you were kind of weirded out a little bit in the trailers, I think when you watch the full movie, it won't bother you as much. You probably won't even really care that her eyes are kind of bigger than usual. It probably won't even matter to you, but yeah. Me personally, I thought the CGI was meant, but please, for the love of God, if any of y'all plan on seeing this movie, which you should, if you are a fan of anime, if you are a fan of if you're a fan of anime, you need to watch this movie. If you are a fan of live action anime adaptations, you need to go see a movie. Like, this movie needs all the support it can get so that we can get a sequel, because I am hyped as hell to see where they plan on going with Nova at the end of the movie. But two, I just want to see more live action anime adaptations done. Because if you guys haven't noticed, anime adaptations, live action ones, have been a pretty big role lately. Ghost in the Shell was fucking phenomenal. Now, even if you weren't really that big into the Ghost in the Shell movie, you have to be able to see it's a step in the right direction for Hollywood to, of course, make good movies. The live action, the Netflix Death Note movie, I know a lot of people didn't like that movie. Me personally, I loved it. And of course, you all already know what I thought of the Bleach live action movie. Fucking phenomenal. One of my favorite movies of the year, and without a doubt the best live action anime adaptation, period. And of course, Alita Battle Angel, you can also add to that list as other fucking phenomenal live action adaptations. Like, this movie was fucking amazing. There isn't much more I can say other than this movie was fucking amazing. Man. But please, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but please do yourself a favor and watch this movie in IMAX. IMAX 3D. Not only because one, this movie would be amazing on the big screen with the 3D effects added there. It would be godlike for you to watch this in IMAX. Like, so if you can catch it in IMAX, watch it in IMAX, because I unfortunately wasn't able to, and I don't think I ever will. I don't think I will see it next. Maybe I might see it next weekend, but this movie, when I was watching it on the theater, I was like, I need to see this again in IMAX, because the action scenes were so good. Like, I was like, that was actually kind of worried me a little bit in the trailers, was since they were so heavily focused on action. I knew Alita Battle Angel was more similar to Ghost in the Shell, which is, of course, to Ghost in the Shell, which is, as we know, isn't really an action-heavy series, more thought-provoking, asking questions, philosophical, Matrix, all that shit. Y'all already know Ghost in the Shell. There is a little bit of that in here, but it's predominantly it is really action-focused, like, in the trailers, because I was like, I don't know, I feel like people look at this not going to turn out that well, but in actuality, yeah, this is an action movie. I would consider this an action movie. I was expecting. Now, I wouldn't say there's much like the types of the Ghost in the Shell kind of comparisons, other than when Alita's getting rebuilt. It did kind of remind me of when Motoko Kusanagi got built up at the beginning of the Ghost in the Shell movie, at least in my personal opinion. So that's like one of like the only real big Ghost in the Shell references I could really catch, or like similarities I noticed between this and Ghost in the Shell. But yeah, if you're a fan of Ghost in the Shell, I'll definitely say you'll really enjoy this movie. Whether you're a fan of the animes or the live action movie, I would say you would definitely get captivated. Like, if you're a fan of action movies in general, then this is the movie for you, because this is just fucking phenomenal. The action scenes are so good, excellent choreography, godlike CGI force. What we would say nothing less from James Cameron, and this movie is just so fucking good. Now, actually, I want to get a little personal with y'all for real quick. So you guys may know that I'm of course in college right now, and I am planning on working on becoming, a major in film. I want to become a movie director. And I won't lie, recently I've kind of been doubting myself a bit on that. Like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I want to do? I was kind of second guessing, like, is this the career I really want to get into? But after the seeing this movie, it just reminded me why I want to get into this industry in the first place. This movie has just driven me even farther to become a movie director and create something legendary. Like, this has just driven me even further. Like, any thoughts I had, second guessing myself, they have been purged from my mind, and I'm back on track. So, if a movie can do that to you, then you know they're doing a damn good job. Now, of course, this movie isn't a complete fucking mess. No, this completely isn't perfect. There are some flaws with this movie. So allow me to tell you. Now, granted, I only have one flaw with this movie, and that's it. One flaw. And that's the villain. He, who was of course played by Ali, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the dude's first name, he literally does nothing in the movie. He literally just kind of sits there, drinks his drinks, and just kind of orders for people around to kill Alita. That's it. I was more interested in Nova, and the man that we don't even really get a good look at it until like the end of the movie. All the other times, he's just kind of mind controlling other people, and just, you know, telling them, and just like talking through them. That's it. Like, Nova, I care more about Nova, and I'm more interested in Nova than I am this guy. He just kind of sits around and just does nothing. Like, it's not so much his performance was bad. The dude, Ali did a great job playing him. It's just the script gave him nothing to do. Like, now, I don't know if that was just because it, like, maybe had a much bigger role in the 2,000-page script James Cameron wrote back in 2004. And, of course, when they had to chop it down to something a little bit more manageable, his shit got cut out. Or what, but if there's one thing I definitely had a problem with, it was a villain. I just personally didn't really care for him much, in my personal opinion. But, yeah, that's really about it in terms of flaw. It was really just a villain. Besides that, yeah, that's about everything I could talk about, other than I'm just hype as hell. And I'm just curious to see if this movie does get a sequel. I would love to see that. And who knows, maybe James Cameron might actually direct that one. I don't know. But if you are a fan of James Cameron's movies, watch this, because this has his name written all over it. Like, excuse me, this movie feels like a James Cameron movie. I was watching, I'm like, this feels like I'm watching a James Cameron movie. In all, this feels like a James Cameron movie. It has this sense, it has that kind of style that it usually has, and I was sold on this movie and already giving like a 10, giving it my final verdict by like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And like when we get that scene where Aaliyah's kind of like testing out like her martial arts training, and she's like air punching a mirror, that whole scene right there. Oh god, I love that scene. Oh, and the sound, and I already mentioned the soundtrack, how amazing the soundtrack was. This movie was just amazing. This movie was just fucking phenomenal. So overall, I would give Alita Battle Angel a 10 out of 10, of course. And I won't lie, this movie is now in my top 5, if not top 3, favorite movies of all time. It was that fucking good. And the only movie I can even see possibly topping this as my movie of the year is Avengers Endgame. But I don't know if Kevin Feige and the Russos can top this masterpiece. I'll have to wait and see in April when that happens. So anyway, so hope you all enjoyed the video. You like, you subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. I did say it already. Watch this movie. Support it, please.